What's going on, my beautiful people from YouTube? Guys, I am so thrilled to be bringing you this project today. It's like a pre-sale, like it's not even out yet, but it's so promising in more ways than you can even imagine. If you spend any time on this channel, you know that I'm all about growth. I'm about taking things to the next level. Not only that, I don't think you can do it alone. I'll give you the perfect example. Right now, the channel has actually broken 1,000 subscribers. I didn't do that by myself. I did that because of all of you. I'm doing the best that I can to bring you value. And you all have responded by subscribing to the channel. So thank you for that. And this project goes right along with that same train of thought. So if you smash that like button, it's going to help more people to see what this project is all about and help out the channel in the long run. If I earn it, smash it. If I don't earn it, smash it anyway because it helps. I appreciate it. Maybe next time, let me know what I can do better. Like that comment section, fill it up. Let me know what you want to see. And as usual, we're going to do it the same way we always do. We're going to cover this in 3 steps. First, let me tell you a little bit about it. Secondly, I'm going to show you an interview with the founder and CEO. Third, I want to come back and actually tell you why I believe in it. So this is what it is. Pedestal. And they're looking to be a social media platform that enables growth. See that word growth right there? At the end of the day, it's about people connecting with one another, right? Mentors and mentees to be able to be empowered, to be able to grow. I can't do this by myself. Like, I know all of you are helping me tremendously, but even beyond that, I have people that I consult with, that I confide in, that help me, that give me tips, that allow me to see things that I may be missing. So this just takes it onto the blockchain, which is super exciting, right? And again, it's not even out yet. Beta is not even out. So if you go on their website and you sign up, you're going to be able to get information about what's going on, when they're launching, and all of that good stuff. I can talk for a long time in regards to mentorship and what I think about it, but let's just get right into the action, like all of you were saying in the last video. All right, so Aaron, Pedestal, what is it and why do we even need it?
Yeah, Pedestal is a social media platform that connects mentors to mentees. And once they facilitate those relationships, they get access to a shared workspace where they can work together and develop professionally. And we've incentivized that relationship. And so they earn rewards while they're working together. And so we think, goodwill goes so far, you'll get that engagement and you'll actually find that person. But what keeps them hooked and what keeps them engaged? The big piece is mentors are busy. Mentors don't have time, right? They're not going to have time to get on a call with you, 10 times a week or every time you run into an issue. So we understand that. And we want to make it so they can catch up asynchronously, right? So that when they come to that meeting with you, they're ready. They're already caught up to speed. They know what you're working on. And so that workspace acts as that intermediary between that. Finally, the biggest piece for us is we can validate your progress with data. So we've created a mentor impact score. So it'll showcase how effective that mentor is for you. And you're not stuck with them, right? You might find that person you like and you'll get in the engagement and it might not be ideal. That's okay. That's the whole platform is designed around you plugging in to where you are getting that perfect relationship for you.
That's awesome. I love the mentor-mentee relationship. I think that's huge and it's lacking nowadays, especially in this time where people aren't out, aren't really connecting with each other anymore. I think it's a really good thing and it's needed, by everybody, honestly, both by mentors and mentees, because a lot of people don't talk about it, but mentors get a lot of, out of it. I mean, the reason the mentor is a mentor is because they definitely benefit from it. But this idea is cool, but how did you come up with it? And how did it, materialize in the first place?
Yeah. So I ended up changing careers. I think a lot of people have nowadays. And I mean, even back in the day, when you look at historical data, boomers were changing careers at the exact same rate that we are right now. It just kind of seems like people are changing careers more because we're all so much more connected, right? But the numbers are almost identical. It's like a 0.1% difference. So I shifted. I was pre-med. I was neuroscience pre-med. And I said, all right, I did my shadow hours and none of these doctors were happy, right? They were rich, but none of them were happy. And I said, okay, I can't do this for 40 years. But I still wanted to give back. And so that was what got me into medicine in the first place. And so I got into tech knowing that I wanted to do something with that would give back. But when I shifted into tech, I realized, okay, there's a million different programming languages. Which one do I learn? And you can choose the right ones, but then there's some nuances you might miss. And so everybody said, you got to find a mentor. So I took a coding boot camp, which is a 6-month immersive program. It was great. I had a team of mentors that worked with me, but it cost me 15 grand. and 6 months went by and that incentive was gone. Even then, while we were working together, all these software engineers, these people that build this software, we all were using different tools. So all of us were on something different. And so we'd spend, 20 minutes when somebody would share their screen, we'd have to learn their setup, learn what they were doing, learn their approach. And so there were a bunch of these problems where the mentor didn't have incentive. There was no clarity as to the impact, right? And we were all using a different platform. So that's the problems we're trying to solve. We want to centralize that engagement per person, make sure that mentor is always up to speed, showcase that impact, and then reward that mentor when they work together. So keep them incentivized on the platform so that they can have those long-term relationships.
That's awesome. So I hear incentivizing. I hear, essentially, I hear crypto all over this. Like, how does that integrate with blockchain?
Yeah, so we love the data piece, and we love that we're able to pull in the blockchain. We have a lot of long-term plans with the blockchain. Initially, we want users to get on and be able to earn this cryptocurrency that we're creating, our token. It's called the Pedestal Building Token. We want people to build their own pedestal, right? Craft your legacy and build your pedestal. And so while they're on the platform, we've weighted the actions that the mentors take to earn our incentive. And while other users are on the platform, so even if you're not a mentor, there's a lot of opportunities for you to earn it. There's a marketplace component where you can actually spend it, or similar to Brave Browser, you can transfer it right off into your own wallet and convert it at an exchange. So we're looking to partner with a couple different exchanges right now.
You're not locking up people's tokens. They actually have access to them?
Yep. So if you've earned the tokens, you can transfer it right off.
Awesome. That means a lot. Believe me, I'm one of those people that doesn't like to use exchanges in the first place. It's all, on my MetaMask wallet or other ones that we keep hidden. But I mean, that's big for me, at least.
Yeah. We wanted to dodge the gas fees. I'm pretty big on, I love Ethereum. I love what Ethereum's doing. I think the platform is great. Obviously, the founder is incredible. He's an Einstein of our generation, but gas fees are still gas fees. And so we're building on probably a different blockchain. I won't label the ones we're looking at unless you want me to, but we're doing that so that it's still easy for you to access that cryptocurrency that you've earned, but you're not going to pay this massive gas fee. And gas fees are down, but it's still, sometimes if you get like $500, you're going to spend $300 on gas fees. I've been on 1inch. I've been on some of these exchanges. It's pretty wild. You're losing about half your investment if you're not a big boy investor.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're not only looking to cater to the big boys, you want to cater to everyone. You want to find people that want, to connect with mentors, and that's definitely big for them.
Yeah. And so we have a lot of incentivization plans down the line. There's some legality there, but the more it gets decentralized, which is the long-term goal, right? We want to put it in the hands of people and consumers. And so we're incentivizing holding the token down the line. We want to give you back 1% of the transaction fees, as well as keep adding to that marketplace. We have an NFT component as well. So for example, we're going to be running a campaign. We're pretty excited. I'm sure I started grinning, but we're running this campaign where we want consumers to create NFTs for this competition, and we're actually going to have a cash reward. And so then we'll sell their NFTs right on our marketplace, and you can buy those with, our Pedestal Building Token, our PBT.
That's awesome. So when does this all start? When does it, actually come to fruition? When does it take place?
Yeah, so we're looking to actually run our beta in September. Development's going great. We're ahead of schedule, which is absolutely wild. I'll keep saying it's wild because I work in the software space. You're never ahead of schedule. So we'll see if that continues to this trend. But we want to launch by the end of 2021. So this will be something you can get your hands on by the end of the year. And we want to have the blockchain component already integrated by then. And we'll keep ramping up the blockchain. So working on the white paper right now. We have a non-blockchain white paper you can check out, but we do not have the blockchain white paper out yet.
Oh, that just means that everybody that joins now is they're early adopters, right?
Yeah. And so we've got some cool incentives we can do with the crypto, but that's not mapped out yet. So if you do get on early, we can incentivize it a little bit.
How do people get on early? Like, how do people find you?
Yeah, you can go to pedestalapp.com and you can sign up for the wait list. I won't spam you with emails. I think I've sent out one newsletter over the last 3 months. I'm only going to send it out if I got something massive to share. The last one had something pretty cool on it about crypto. I host workshops about it. I'm doing a workshop later today about crypto. So if I do anything like that, I like to share it and give back. So that's what you'll see on the newsletter. Not anything spammy. In
So
the meantime,
I
you
can
know,
attest to that just as a side note. So I signed up over a month ago, and I don't know if you even knew this, but I have only received that one email so far and nothing else. So you're doing good.
good. Yeah, I don't want you guys to unsubscribe, right? I get spam emails and I'll unsubscribe right away. I'm not looking to do that.
Yeah, but you were saying there is another component that's coming out later?
Yeah, so if you do sign up, you can sign up for the beta. And I mentioned earlier, we can incentivize that a little bit. So you can actually earn the token in the beta and you won't be able to transfer it out right away. But after that beta is over and we go to launch, all of your earnings will be logged. And so once we get into launch, your whatever you earn in the beta, you'll get to keep.
Oh, that's a new way to do it, because a lot of people, when it goes, it's testnet is one system, then it clears it out and zeroes things out when you go into the mainnet. You're actually looking at keeping those rewards from, the testnet to the mainnet.
Yes. Yep. So we're going to log them and transfer them over. So exactly.
That's a big deal, because I don't know if you know, like right now DPR is blowing up, and I have a lot of people that are saying, well, I don't know, these big whales are coming in and they're buying up, and I feel like I'm just missing out, even though I've been here since the beginning, I've been contributing. This is a really cool way to incentivize people to get in early and get rewards that people joining later on wouldn't be able to do.
Yeah. We want to thank you for your time. We live in a digital era, but you're doing us a favor by being on the platform. Of course, we want you to get something out of it, other than hopefully you find that magical mentor and you get that lifetime relationship. But even if you don't, you get a little incentive for helping us out.
That's great. So how are mentors and mentees like kind of connecting? How do they find each other?
Yeah. So if you're familiar with Upwork, it's very similar. And so the layout, for lack of a better term, it looks like LinkedIn, right? And you can search for a mentee in an industry or a mentor. So we made it both ways. It's bi-directional, but obviously we know mentees are going to search a little more. And so once you get on the platform, maybe you want to segue into finance, right? And let's say you want to get into finance, you'll search for finance mentor. And so once you do that, you can see some candidates. We'll also give you some recommendations on the side. We have a recommender system. And then you can reach out and say, hey, I'd love to be mentored by you. And they can accept. They may have their own we're customized sign up form. So we're letting them customize how the mentees sign up. And once they accept, you get a shared workspace and it's private to you and that mentor, and you get started.
So when you say private, how private are we talking about?
So only you and the two in the relationship get access to it. So no one else gets access. It's just you two. I come from an IT compliance background. I worked at Encore Capital, managing their IT compliance infrastructure. So I'm very big on data privacy, which is great. With the blockchain is awesome. I love absolutely everything about the data piece there, and so we're going to leverage that more and more and integrate it more and more. At first, we're just going to adhere to the GDPR, the CCPA, all of the fun compliance audited regulating bodies. So you won't have to worry about your data being overseas. Depending on where you are, we're going to localize your data.
That's awesome. So, and this is, I know maybe I'm putting you on the spot, but I'm going to come out and ask, because those acronyms are great and people might not even know what they are. Here's the main question. Can Aaron go back and look at what people are saying to each other in the background?
So on the back end, we track what you're doing on the platform, but we've anonymized your ID. So the way that it's very similar to the way that cookies work, right? And I know some people are scared of cookies, but cookies anonymize your data. And so it puts a label on you as an ID. And so we're doing the same thing. So I can look at this ID, but I won't know it's you. So I'll have no idea who I'm looking at, but I'll be able to see that this person did X, Y, and Z without actually knowing who that person is. And so the reason why we do that is so that mentor impact score I mentioned earlier, we want to be able to give you that in feedback, right? How well is my engagement going? And for us to do that, we've got to log the data. We just don't want to put a person to that data, because we're not going to sell your data. That's not the point of the app. We want to privatize your data. It's your data. You're trusting us to use our platform, and we want to thank you for that by keeping it anonymous.
Sounds like you're thanking us by doing a lot of things, keeping it private, giving you rewards. It sounds like a dream come true. I'm big on mentorship, honestly. Like, I think it's a big thing, and I can't stand people that, I'm a self-made man. Like, that's just not me at all. I can't stand that sort of thing, because at the end of the day, I think that people enable other people to be successful. Because if you're doing it on your own, it's not only is it so hard, but it's super lonely. Like it's super lonely. At the end of the day,
Definitely.
we're human. We want to connect, want to be, sharing experiences, sharing life with other people. And I think this is a pretty awesome way to do so.
Yeah, I mean, and if you think about it, the digital era is upon us. I know COVID kind of sped things up, but it can. I got lonely during the digital era, right? During COVID, it's tough to meet people, and this gives you another avenue to do so.
With that face, Aaron, you're having trouble meeting people? Man.
Yeah, well, it doesn't help when you're inside working on code all day.
No, I completely get it. I completely understand. Yeah, so many events, so many things that were supposed to take place that got canceled because of COVID. So yeah, we're definitely speeding things up because of it. Now, I know you said that people can find you at the pedestalapp.com. What would you encourage people to do now before things launch? Like, what can people do to get ready? Like, mentorship is a big thing. What do you think as far as being either a mentor or a mentee? What's the mindset they need to put themselves into?
Yeah, I think most people don't realize it, but everybody's an expert in something, right? And you might only be an expert in yourself right now, and that's fine. I still label myself only as an expert in Aaron. Well, what is Aaron good at, right? What am I good at? What can I give back in? And so once you kind of start to define what you're good at, you'll realize that, hey, these are skills that apply to this sort of area. For example, I mentioned I work in software, right? I'm okay at coding. I'd say I'm okay. I'm better than somebody who's just trying to learn how to code. And so I can ramp myself up in what did I learn? How did I get to this point? And then you can actually start to give back even younger or earlier in your career than you might imagine. And so we're trying to tap into people exactly like that, right? Hey, I just got this job within the last 2 years. Here's what I did to do it. And then you can help somebody who's trying to transition into that field. So I kind of want to change that mindset of mentors are, these retirees. Of course they are. They definitely still are. But we also want to tap into people who have the relevant experience who just made that shift. So just get started thinking about how you might want to give back and then what you might want to jump into on Pedestal, because you can be a mentor and a mentee at the same time.
That's awesome. So I know I'm the guy that usually asks the awkward questions that other people aren't willing to ask, just kind of put out there. So Aaron, what has been your experience with either being a mentor or a mentee? How has it helped you, or maybe not been such a good experience?
Yeah, no, great question. So I mentor on a couple of different platforms, and I'm actually going to shout a couple of them out because they're awesome. Exorcism is great for software engineers. You can go on and you can get live feedback. And then Veterati is for veterans, and I try to mentor every Sunday. I put a little bit of time in. So I originally started as a tutor, and then I worked up to being a professor at a different school. And then the entire time I was mentoring people in the space, I've mentored friends and family. I started there. I remember I was teaching my aunt algebra. She needed some help with algebra, and that was more of a tutoring thing, but that was when I was in high school. And so I've always been a big proponent in mentoring, right? I've read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you've ever read that or you haven't read it, you definitely should. He talks about how he has a lifetime mentor in his friend's dad, who he labels as the rich dad. And there's no better way to actually learn and validate your learning than mentoring. And I've had my fair share of mentors. I've had mentors in the software space, the business space. There's nothing like it. You get the feedback that you need. Sometimes it's not the feedback you want to hear, but it's from people who have been there and they've been in that experience before. They know what you're going to see and how to react and how you should react. And sometimes you may not, and they'll be there when you do it incorrectly and kind of build you back up. And so I wouldn't go to a new career or move into that next step of my career without talking to my mentors. And I don't think anybody else should. And so that's why we created Pedestal. We don't want you to be out on an iceberg alone, trying to navigate while everybody else has their own lines of support.
That's awesome. That's great. And I mean, that we're coming to the end of this, kind of conversation, but this is not over. Like, I definitely want to check out the platform and see how it works, how it functions. And what promise that I'll make to everybody here that's watching us is that I'll be on there and I'll sign myself up. And can I do it as a mentor and a mentee at the same time?
Yeah, you can be both. I'm going to be both on the platform. I'm going to be a mentor and a mentee, and probably the entire time I'm on there. I don't think mentoring, I don't think there's a point in time where you stop needing that mentor.
That's great. That's awesome. So anything I didn't ask that you think is important for people to know about the platform?
No, I'd love to have you guys sign up. This has been great, and I can't wait to meet some of you on the platform.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, Aaron. I really appreciate it. And we'll definitely be following back up and seeing how this thing develops.
Great. Awesome. Thank you.
Talk about humble, successful people. That's Aaron, guys. Like, one of the reasons why I like the project is him. Like, I believe that you need to know who's on the team. And knowing that Aaron is on this team, I mean, it brings peace knowing that it's going to be a good project. It's going to have a good heart behind it. You don't see him putting anybody else down. He doesn't compare his projects with anything else. It's all about what he can do to help others. And that to me means the world. I'm all about mentorship. I'm going to be on the platform. I'm going to sign up both as a mentor and a mentee because I'm not done growing. Believe me, I have a long way to go, but I'm going to be really excited to be able to connect with people in there. And you heard it here first. I mean, it's not even out, but I've signed up actually like a month ago when I started looking at the project. I reached out to Aaron. He said, yeah, I'd love to talk about it and share a little bit more in regards to what we're doing. So there you have it. I'm going to make sure that I come back and give you guys an update on this later on when, beta or mainnet launches. That way you can be in the end as far as what's going on. But I appreciate you all. It's been phenomenal to just be able to share life with you guys once again. If you haven't done so yet, that like button's still right there. If it's gray, turn to blue. I really appreciate it, guys. You all are fantastic. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Ooh, maybe I faked a few people out. I left that black up for a little bit longer than usual. Anyway, if you wouldn't mind, go down in the comments down below and put the name of somebody who's inspired you in the past. That's, motivated you to become better, to do more, to make a change in the world. I would love to know from you guys what's going on in your lives and who you look up to. All right, y'all. See ya.